Hi, this is Jennifer Fox with musiceducatorresources.com, and thank you for joining me for music teacher tip number 15. So I thought it would be fun to share this little tip that I've been doing since I think 2012 was the first time I did it, at least from the script that I can find. Was back in 2012. Anyway, so at that time, I wanted to kind of spice things up, spice the recital up a little bit more, do something a little bit different to help keep the attention for the audience and just make the recital a little bit more fun. I know when I attend concerts and events and different things like that, I love it when the performers talk to the audience and do things a little bit different rather than just play. And so that kind of is where my mind was going when I thought of this idea that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So I'm going to be sharing a creative spin on what I do with my recital introductions. So when I introduce the performers, I don't just simply say their name and the students, I know with some recitals you have the students say their name and their piece and stuff like that. I don't do any of that. So instead, in 2012, the first time I did this, I wrote a poem. And with the poem, I took the titles of all my students' pieces and based the poem off of their pieces. So all the titles were inside this poem. So during the poem, I would introduce the performers, and I would do it usually in a group of 4 or 5 students at a time. So I thought I would give you some examples of some of the scripts that I've done. I'll share with you my very first one. I think they did get a little bit better. And yeah, it's a little bit corny, but I love it. And I think the audience likes it too. So this is my 2012. We had a safari going on that year, so that was our safari theme. And keep in mind that everything that I'm going to be saying is titles of pieces. So for example, when I say Old MacDonald, that means the student played Old MacDonald, or there's a piece called Alligator, or things like that. So kind of keep that in mind when I'm saying this poem. Okay, if Old MacDonald had a safari, what animals would we see? An alligator swimming in the deep blue lake with a tail as long as can be. A tall giraffe we are sure to find with spots as big as I. Even a fox or two might be roaming around to see what he can spy. So then at that point, I would announce 4 of the performers. I would say, okay, performing is da 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 da. And then after they performed, I would go on with the poem. The bear went over the mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro, what that would be. The mountain of light and greatness, the beauty of African melodies. With its high summits and crater rim, many animals you will find. The majestic view you will partake will leave you spellbind. And then again, more performers. So now that you have the idea, I'm going to just keep going on the poem, and I won't take a break. So continuing on our safari, what do we spot? Some elephants in our sight. Next come a herd of buffalo. Look out, it's wild beast waltzing in delight. The smiling hippo with rhino in the mud, wallowing as deep as can be. These big safari animals are having too much fun, if you ask me. Monkey see, monkey do, he'll even play peekaboo. Play him some white keys, now some black, think he can learn the piano too? Squirrel, spider, golden or brown, they come in all sorts of colors and sizes. Gorillas, apes, chimpanzees, these monkeys like to surprise us. Lions, leopards, and other big cats stalking out their prey. Eyes alert, looking ahead at what may come their way. Like a hunter hiding in the grass, ready to pounce and soar. Be careful, you better watch out for the roar. A prelude to rain, clouds darken overhead, thunder heard from a distance. A sudden storm is upon us now, the animals feel resistance. The rain stops, the sun breaks through showcasing a beautiful rainbow. Thankful for the moisture this storm has given, looking forward to a new tomorrow. Snippity snap, bippity bop, clippity clap, flippity flop. These animals that hop, safari critters hurrying this way and that. They don't want to stop. Let's not forget the ones who can fly. Those birds can really rock. And where there are animals, the insects will be. Their adventures are not just talk. Our piano safari must come to an end. We hope you have had some fun going on a safari tour with us, but now we have to run. Listening for all that nature provides, animals both big and small. We close with a safari of triads and then bid thee farewell. That's all. So that was the first time that I did it was in 2012. And again, I made it a poem. And I did another poem another year, but then sometimes I'll do more storylines. So I wanted to give you an example of that, of more of a story. And this one was in 2016 when I had our quest for the missing loot. That's one of my incentive programs that you can find in my store. And this is the script for that one. And again, keep in mind the titles throughout the story. You might even recognize some of these. And it's not a poem, it's just more of a story. So, a long time ago in a far hence land called Melodica, there lived a young minstrel named Melody, who played the most beautiful music on the lute thou wouldst ever heareth. Now the lute that she played was not an ordinary lute. 'Twas a most special and magical lute there ever was. Into the mist the mermaids of the middle seas would sing enchanted harmonies with Melody's playing. As long as the lute was played each day, it would endue beauty and peace throughout the medieval castle and land. One morning, when Melody went to go play her lute, she discovered it missing. Now, as you can imagine, word spread quite quickly. The royal family, nobility, and villagers were deeply concerned, as they knew if it be true the lute wasn't found quickly, the land would be in distress. The trumpets sounded, and the king quickly declared a quest. The first challenge was set, a medieval tournament to see whom in the kingdom were the most valiant in the quest. There would be no limits to this end game. The final battle in the tournament had been won. It was now time for the departure, beginning with a dungeon run. The king's knights were well on their way to a forbidden city and would first need to find shelter in the woods. Now filled with determination, the knights would need to take a scenic route, which would require speeding underground. Deep in the cave in the distance from Melodica lived a dragon and her recent born baby. It was revealed that the lute was inside the dragon's lair. It was almost like the dragon was saying, "Catch me if you can," when the knights heard Melody's lute being played inside. Little did they know that the dragon was using the lute to play a lullaby for her newborn baby. Castles burning in the distance, and with much vigor the knights made their bold escape. Rejoice! Melody's lute had been found. The castle days are peaceful once again. When tomorrow comes, we shall enjoy Melody's beautiful music on her lute. But for now, our quest journey is now complete. Ye shall be rewarded. 'Tis a most epic performance. Huzzah! So I loved that. That was a fun theme. I loved that incentive program too. It's one of my favorites. And then I'm just going to leave you with this last one for this year. So this was the one I just got finished with. And it was the Anthem program, also available in my store. So it was superheroes was our theme. And again, kind of a storyline. And the titles are always mixed in the story or the poems. So this will be the last one I'll share. Iron Man is just one example of a superhero we might know, but when we look inside, we find that each of us is a superhero. Along with Crescenda and Chord, the Anthem apprentices have been on the search and are summoning fearless. We now enter the time machine. Dissonance has made the bold escape. Superheroes, it's time to make your move. Hold on to your capes. The speed limit is 208. We can feel the beat of the renegade. The villain's revenge is strong. But never fear, Super Duck is here. Believe it or not, it's an epic battle when dissonance is on the run. We will need help from the Flash to get us back to our own timeline. It's a superhero scherzo to see how far I'll go for a test drive. When it comes to our superpowers, we continue to sing the fight song, for there are no limits to what we can accomplish. We are at the edge as dissonance is breaking free, but there is a triple threat pursuit ahead before we call it game over. The superheroes did it. With the help of Batman, the Avengers, and all the Anthem apprentices, we can officially say that music is our superpower. So that was, like I said, that was this year's recital and script. Just a little background. In the Anthem program, Crescenda and Chord are the Anthem mentors for the apprentices. And the apprentices, of course, are the students. So again, that has been a really fun program this year. I hate to see it go. It's just, I really enjoy doing these things with my students. So anyway, I just wanted to share that little tip of what I like to do with my recitals. That makes it a little bit more engaging, and I think they enjoy I think they enjoy it. Yeah, it's a little corny, but I think it's fun, and I know I enjoy doing it. So I hope you enjoyed hearing a few of those, and maybe it'll spur some ideas of what you could do in your recitals. Happy teaching.